All right, we already did the film study. Let's do the prediction video, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Devin Haney is taking on Brian Norman Jr. And one thing about it is Brian Norman Sr. has been doing a lot of talking. All right. I'm doing this on Halloween, so it may be a lot less, more talking or less talking coming. You know, it may be from that point on, but yeah, man, they're doing a lot of talking, and there may be a sign of there may be a sign of I think that may just be a sign of respect. I mean, confidence. But they seem to be very, 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 very confident, and they seem to be very confident coming into this fight. That's what I will say. They seem to be we about to tear Buddy up, and and Devin seen their whole premise is, well, he really ain't beat nobody. That's their premise. He really ain't beat nobody. Who did he beat? So, but right now, I heard the daddy say he ain't fought nobody with as long as reach as him, and all that does matter. So Devin is 71-inch reach for 59, 5'9", 5'9" in height, only 26 years old, 32-0, no draws, no losses. He had one no contest with Ryan Garcia, which from my point of view, it is what it is, right? Shouldn't even happen. Debbie and Riyadh taking on this particular fight. I mean, when you look at the resumes, he's fought the better opponents. I mean, when you start talking about, Ramirez, Jose Ramirez, Ryan Garcia, Regis Prograis, Lomachenko, Kambosos, he had a hell of a run. The last, 6 fights has been a hell of a run. Far-fetched from guys like Joseph Diaz, Jorge Linares, Yuriorkis Gamboa. He's really stepped it up in the last, the last 5 fights. When you look at Brian Norman Jr., 72-inch arms, 5'8", a little bit shorter, long arms, 28-0, 0 losses, 0 draws, and he has 22 knockouts. Jen Psaki, Derek Cuevas, Jay Nelson Figueroa, Giovanni Santiago. He hasn't fought the guys that he fought. And, before that Santiago fight, he was on the cusp of getting booted from Top Rank. And I think we all know that to be the truth. If he lost that fight, they were going to boot him. He was looking bad on ESPN Plus, and he put a performance together. Devin Haney is saying that they're feeding Norman to the wolves because Top Rank is probably going to fold. They don't have another network other than Stars. They're trying to get a network deal now, and it just right now YouTube TV just lost the ESPN and ABC and Walt Disney. And they know the contract negotiations, So that's the crazy thing about it. They just lost that. They literally just lost that. So, maybe they don't have nothing else for them to fly to those fighters over there, especially without Turkey. Without utilizing PBC. But when I see this particular fight, and Norman's only 24 years old, when I see this particular fight, I think there's some unknowns here with Norman. I think there's some knowns here, obvious norms for Norman, and obviously norms and knowns and unknowns for Devin Haney. I think people feel Haney's a little bit chinny in this particular fight. Added weight can't help the chin. A lot of people say Devin Haney don't do anything great. His athleticism. Some people say his mentality. But a lot of the things, defensively, he has some trouble there. I think he has a really, 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 really strong jab. Um, but sometimes I think he can be too jab based. A lot of times when you look at him, there's really no creativity. It's kind of very repetitive in some of the things he do off the jab. With that type of athleticism, and if you knew what Floyd Senior really taught him in his throw combinations, you like to see him get to combinations, pivoting, feinting, really, using the sauce in this fight. They're going to control distance, but you would really like to see him really put shots together. When I kind of watch him, I was watching him train on X. It just seems like he's trying too hard to be a puncher. All right. I feel like he's trying too hard to be a puncher. And that's just my opinion on it. I just think he's literally trying too hard to punch. You know, um, and I think honestly he probably needs to really just focus on being the best version. Focus on just speed and the accuracy of the punch. That would be my thing. Him and for Norman, people talking about defensively, he's not good. I mean, I seen him defend well. I think there may be some focus gaps there. It may be conditioning. I think, sometimes the focus drops off with young people. Sometimes the focus is not there. So I think that's the only real bad thing to say about Norman. I mean, he looked bad in some other performances when he wasn't against a Mexican coming right at him. So, when you got guys coming at him, or willing to bang with him, which Devin Haney shouldn't do, I think he tends to look better now, trying to hunt down Devin. Yeah, he can talk about fast feed and hand speed, but he has to control that. He has to cut that distance off, or he has to control distance, and they can't just be coming to look for a knockout. They should be coming to win on points. They should be coming to use the jab and break them down to the body, looking to take that jab away. If they're just looking to come out there and power drive them, it better be done in the first 4 or 5 rounds. I think they should be looking to come out there and really take away the jab, take the air out the tires, attack the body, take the legs away, make the target stationary. And I think that's very important that they even the conditioning out a little bit, because Devin Haney, once you kind of look at the statistics, about experience down the road. Hold on, because I gotta sign in the box reg. Man, every time my browser update, you gotta relog the hell back in. And it got another update right now. I have to find me another browser to use, because that gets on my nerves. Every time I use this browser, bro, it's like it's updating like every day now, and it signs you out of everything. But he went 5 with Jen Psaki. He went 3 with Derek Cuevas. He did go 10 with Cincy and go 3 with Jay Nelson Figueroa. He from Detroit. Shout out to him. 10 with Quentin Randall, and that's a fight. Was that the sloppy fight he had? I can't remember. 8-8, 1-1, 4-5, 1-7, 6-1-1, 6-1-1, 1-1, 4-2, 3-1, 2, 1-1-1. So really, he ain't really never been 12. He ain't been 12. He been 10. Got a late stoppage in 10, but he really ain't been in those deep waters. And you look at Devin Haney, if he can get this fight in the second half of this fight, he probably can control it. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. This nigga the police, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he been 12 a bunch of times. He's a guy that's been in the trenches. He's a guy that's been in the trenches. He's a guy that's been in the trenches. So if this fight if this fight goes, if he can get this fight to go deep and he can stay, um, and he can stay, and honestly, if he can stay on his feet, and he can get this fight to go in the later rounds, he probably control it. Speed, pot shots, but Devin got to stop leaning to that strong hand. He tends to like dip to that strong hand. I mean, it's a bad habit. And I'm surprised nobody really, I'm surprised nobody really like really throw that shot where he be at, set him up where you feint, maybe feint a right hand and come back with that hook, because he leans to that side. But the keys to victory for Devin Haney is if you can win the early rounds and make this kid get desperate and start reaching down the stretch. I think there's an opportunity where he can get tired and maybe you can really take over down the stretch, right? So I think getting out to an early lead is probably key. By the time you get to 5 to 6, you get them rushing, you can run them into something. I think establishing that jab. I think that's another thing. Get in there, establish that jab. Early and often, the jab is not going to allow him in a little bit in feints and movement and being able to pivot, being able to smother. And it's just to keep him off balance. That's what I would say. Keep him off balance where he can't set and he can't just get that left hook off. Not just circling away from the left hook. Sometimes just, pushing them back, baiting them into the left hook. And, if you make him miss that left hook, you got to make him pay. You got to make him pay. When he missed them power shots, he missed that left hook, go underneath with your left hook to the body. I would say for Devin, get that body early. It's a kid who ain't been in a lot of the championship rounds for real. So I would say, establish the jab, get up on rounds early, attack the body to take the air out the tires, make them desperate and capitalize on some of the mistakes that he may make. That would be my remedy for him. That would be my remedy. Make him capitalize on some of the mistakes that he may make. He's going to make them. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Mistakes will be made. But if he get out to a hot start, drop you a couple times, drop you one time, I mean, you better get in your Chris Algieri bag like he was versus Provodnikov. And for Brian Norman, I think early on is just to take away what Devin Haney do best. I think that's your number one thing. Take away what Devin Haney does best. I think that's your thing. Take away the jab, capitalize on his weakness. He's going to be trying to, get your respect and lunge. He's pushing his shots. He's loading up on his shots. He's lunging with his shots. I would be practicing on punching with him. I'd be practicing on beating him first to the jab or coming over that top of that jab. You know what I'm saying? I'd work on taking that jab away and just beating him up. I would work on taking the jab away, whether it's countering it over the top, establishing my jab. That's what I would be doing. Touching them to the body here and there. I'm not looking to knock him out. I'm just trying to capital off the mistakes that he made. He leaned to that side all the time. Maybe throw a left hook to that same side. Don't worry about throwing it to the head. Then maybe you line that left hook. Maybe you throw left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Then when you think that left hook coming to the body, hey, drop that left hook to the head. Lean to the same side every time. Every time he throws something, I think he leaned to his right hand. Why don't you just throw the left hook, to the elbow, to the side? He leaned right into it. He gonna feel it if he catch it. So, but really, I didn't come in here with a predetermined victor, to be honest. But I'm gonna go it's tough. I'm more of a guy that favors experience. You know, experience. Dev being experienced, but I'm gonna say Norman. I'm gonna go with Norman. Love Dev. It's a tough matchup for him, but I'm gonna go with Norman in 9. I'm gonna go with Norman in 6. I think it gotta happen before the championship round. So I think Norman get him in 6. But the one thing that's kind of making me hesitant is Norman just looked bad, before that Santiago fight, bro. He looked bad. He looked bad, man. Like man, it's Norman got to get him before 6 or under. But I'm gonna stick with Norman in 6. I'm gonna stick with Norman in 6. I'm gonna take his durability, his power. I know he ain't been fighting nobody though, man. It's a tough one, bro. I'm gonna take Norman in 6. I think it's gonna be a tough fight. I'm gonna take Norman in 6. I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna stick with my first mind and take Norman in 6, man. But I think a lot of people want this pop shut up, but I think it's a good matchup for them. And I think it's a good matchup. I think it's a good fight. I think, if I had to say a number of this fight, I think it's a 60-40 fight favoring Norman. So I think I'll take Norman 6-round KO, but I could be wrong on that, man. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the fight prediction playlist for more videos like this. Peace.